Hey everyone, it's Sarah here, and I'm wishing you a good evening from Slovenia. We're counting down the last few nights before we head back to New York. So much has happened, so much has changed. We have grown so much, my girls and I, since we got here 4 months ago. I can't believe how quickly time went by. And within those 4 months, I want to share with you a couple of things that have happened, took place, that I noticed with the help of people around me who have taught me, who have guided me, and who have listened to not just the words that were said, but what has been said between the lines. And I think this is so crucial when we are on the journey to the next level and the next level and the next level, and it can be very scary, it can be uncertain, it can be almost like contracting, you making 2 steps forward and 1 step back because you don't see the tangible results quite yet. And it's a delicate dance, that's for sure. So for those of you who have followed me for years, you might remember how in 2011 I started out as a virtual assistant and how I was really digging the details, the tactics, the technology, all the little bolts and nuts that make a business run and grow and succeed. Along the way, as I kept growing my business and I kept evolving as a person, I became a mom twice on the journey. A lot has shifted and a lot has changed. And at first I was really resisting the fact that I felt somewhere within me that there's more to it, that I'm called to be a consultant. And then when coaching came along, I was like, I was afraid to really jump. But once I did, I was like, wow, the whole new universe opened up. And that was just the beginning. Because as the time went by and as I was working with more clients and I was working with more higher level mentors, I also started to discover my other gifts, more divine, innate gifts, ability to kind of foresee the future, to really visualize the possibilities, to put in tangibles, just the concepts that are, floating somewhere around my clients' minds. They're not able to even verbalize those. I was already able to picture them for them. So it has not been always easy to do so, but that's why I wanted to talk to you about the journey, because along the way I have fallen for the shiny object. Yes. Just like so many other people, I have fallen for the shiny object syndrome. And what actually happened was that on the journey, on the up leveling, and this is what I would like you to hear very closely, because it really goes back to the sentence when I said, it's easy to retract when you don't see the tangible results. So what happened to me, and I was caught because I was paying attention and my mentors were paying attention, and I saw the responses from potential clients and clients. I was able to correct the course. But the thing was that during the time period when there were my mind, almost not my mind, me personally as a person, I was elevated to the next level. The physical reality had yet to catch up. And being used to a certain income level, being used to certain routine and certain systems and certain predictability when it came to business, when it came to my lifestyle, that all of a sudden changed. All of a sudden, all of those things started to fall apart. And it freaked me out, because the more I hustled, the more that I grinded, the more all-nighters that I pulled, the less and less and less stayed in place. It was crazy. Very discouraging. Ego was bruised. And of course, as a mom, it took toll on my relationship with the kids, because I was always on the edge. As a wife, it took a toll on my marriage, because I was always on the edge. So I'm sharing this with you to let you know that you're not alone. But what ended up happening is that in desire to prove my worth, when myself as a former athlete, as a scholar, as a person who always, hey Melissa, thank you so much. I'm so glad that you're here. Facebook didn't tell me that you're here, so hi. My body got used to the adrenaline of chasing tangible external validation, and if it got it, it was almost high from it and it wanted more. But when it didn't get it, it was total disaster, like a panic attack. So I had to literally retrain my body, and the soul and the mind followed. The things that along the way, like I was talking about the shiny object syndrome, what I fell for was my attachment to the monetary results that my clients have gotten from working with me. And I was convinced that if in my marketing, if in my offers, if in my promise, there's no such promise, no such outcome, tangible outcome, that my worth was not enough. Yes, external validation. I just went through this. Glad we're not alone, and I can probably, every single person I have spoken to, we have been through it, especially high achieving, driven entrepreneurs, primarily women who have been raised and taught to be strong, to be independent, to be pretty much invincible, unbreakable, right? That you're capable of doing everything. We tend to fall apart eventually, and that's one of the reasons. So what happened in my case when I kept falling back to that tangible monetary results, I could feel it in my voice. I could feel it in my energy, that disconnect, that something was not quite right. And it was so interesting because that inner battle that happens in your mind, that happens kind of when heart and mind and soul already know and your mind's resisting, like if you envision the door frame and somebody's trying to pull you through the door frame and you're hanging on the door frame. It's like, I'm not going through. That's exactly what my mind was trying to do. And it wasn't until one of my mentors noticed that when she asked me a simple question: what do you do and why? And when you see yourself, and sometimes it's good to do this on camera, sometimes it's good to do this in the mirror, so that you can have reference, you can visually see yourself. It was like the eyes lit up, my posture changed, the excitement was in the voice when I got to speak about raising consciousness, about shifting the values and norms of our society to create better future for the kids, to stop playing lottery with our own lives. But when I went into the tangible of, and by the way, wrapping in all the monetary results, my energy shifted, my voice became really monotone, and the sparkle disappeared. And she asked me, like, what would it take for you to just ditch that altogether? And that, in my case, was a huge challenge, because that was the last bit of the external validation that I was holding on to. And when I was journaling on it, and I was thinking about it, and really, really surrendering, Titanic, when Jack and Rose are at the end of, what's it called? At the front of the boat with the sunset, and they are holding their hands out, and they're just owning the world. That was the feeling that almost felt like my soul got. It's like, yes, she's finally getting it. So the reason I'm sharing this with you, is just my promise to you that I'm being transparent, that I'm being very open and authentic and honest about those processes, because I know how difficult it can be when you are a strategic, numbers, facts driven person who shows up day in and day out until you burn out. And then you swing all the way on the other side of the spectrum, really spiritual energy, some would call it even woo centered world. And you find out you don't quite belong there either, right? You swing so far on the other end that you almost fell off the swing on that end. So when you kind of start finding the balance in between, you are only starting to learn that there's what to let go, what to hold on to, what to reach for. And when you have the capacity to actually feel it, really, really feel it, it changes everything. And if you don't have that capacity, I urge you to work with people to find somebody who can hold the space, who can feel that for you, who can have that vision for you and hold it until you can grow into it. Because not everybody is able to reach that level. But if you feel that you're getting there, it is scary, because everything that you have known about yourself, about your business, is probably going to be taken apart, and you will most likely have to start from the scratch. But what happens on the other side is like pure magic. And most likely you are already experiencing, if you're really honest with yourself, and when you take a step back and you look around your current reality, look for the evidence. Things that you have hoped for, things that you have wished for, you already have them. They might not be exact word-by-word scenario that you have envisioned, especially if you're not really particular in creating that desire. But I bet that there's evidence all around you that you have created your current reality. So what that means is that when you put the effort and surrender pretty much and let your soul guide you towards your future, and when you envision it, and when you allow yourself to really let go of all the programming, all the old beliefs and limitations and stories and everything else, you're gonna get there. You're gonna get there in no time if you choose to collapse the time as well, which is so doable. It does not have to be hard. It does not have to take years. It does not have to mean you're gonna burn out. It does not even require a whole team. You can do it. It starts from within. And again, I really realized that one of the visions that I had a couple of years ago during my darkest times of postpartum depression actually came true this past weekend when my sister and I were on a boat in one of the beautiful lagoons watching the sunset, and the boat was swaying back and forth and the kids were laughing and I could hear the echo of the laughter. It's like, this was it. This is exactly what I envisioned. This is exactly what years ago, that space, the time of everything is okay was, and there I was, everything was okay. And I was reminded again that, as you know, somebody who is always looking for the next move and the next step and the next vision and the next level, to really slow down and be present and appreciate and be grateful for it. And I want to leave you on that note because my battery is gonna die. But gratitude and positivity, because the thing is, just as much as we can manifest and bring into reality our desires that are positive, if there's a fear, if there's doubt running anywhere underneath, just like, you know, on your iPhone when you have apps open that are running in the background, forget about the positive things. What you're gonna manifest is the negative stuff. The more you feed the fear, the more you feed the uncertainty and worry and the lack mindset, the more you're going to be manifesting that. So it's key, it's crucial for you to clear all of that out first and create the space for all the positive, for expansion, because you can't contract and expand at the same time. You can choose, and your brain does not control you. You control your brain. When you feel the alignment in your soul, you choose what your brain is going to do and you follow the guidance. And I promise you cannot go wrong. So thank you for joining me. And I look forward to seeing you soon. Maybe it's going to be still here in Slovenia. Maybe it's going to be back in New York. Either way, I hope you're having a fantastic reminder of the day. You're having a wonderful night. And catch you soon. Bye.